Welcome to Quote and Conquer, the podcast where powerful words meet powerful action. Let's conquer one quote at a time. Some of the hardest truths about ourselves are revealed in the darkness when the world is asleep, the lights are off, and no one is watching. Hi, everyone. It's Joey Walters. Welcome back to Quote and Conquer, the podcast where powerful words meet powerful action. When we're alone and no one's watching, that's the moment of truth. And I've lived it. Some nights I had insomnia. I had a battlefield in my own mind. Lying there, eyes wide open, heart racing, spiraling in shame and guilt, having massive panic attacks, feeling completely small, defeated, and totally out of control. Surrounded with the aftermath of all my decisions, my standards were optional, I had no integrity, a lack of discipline, and my health was at its worst point. And that is what I used to feel for many, many nights. But then one night came and I had a turning point and I made a decision that I'll never forget. And we'll talk about it in this episode. But without further ado, I want to get into this week's quote. We don't rise to the standards we have when everyone is watching. We fall to the standards we have when no one is watching. The only work that really matters is the work that no one sees. It shows us who we really are rather than who we say we are. By Andrew Huberman. So who was Andrew Huberman? He's a neuroscientist and he's helped millions of people understand the human brain and behavior. And he's a professor at Stanford University of Medicine, where he studies our brain's control focus, motivation, sleep, and stress. He's also the host of the Huberman Lab Podcast, where he breaks down complex neuroscience, actionable items, and advice that you can use every single day. So I want you to picture this. Many nights I was up all night, but I would stare at the clock, and I remember numerous times, 3 a.m., when the world was quiet, no one was around, and I was filled with shame and guilt. I would have panic attacks, I would have sweats, I couldn't sleep, and no one was around. Both my kids were very young. I was traveling a lot for work. I was in a very difficult situation at work. I was in a very difficult situation at home in my marriage. And I felt like I couldn't turn to anybody. I didn't feel myself. And I felt like my back was against the wall. And I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. I tried so many different things. I'd have pains. I would have multiple negative thoughts. And I thought I would never overcome the pain that I was feeling. The shame, the guilt, the overeating. And then, one night I said, that's enough. I'm done. I need to change this. And doing a lot of personal development work, I figured out that I was the only one that could help me. I went to numerous naturopaths. I went to go see numerous doctors. And I tried to do all the things, but nothing was working until I started making choices in my mind. I started doing the work when no one was watching. I rebuilt my habits. I started journaling instead of, binge eating. I started walking not out of worry, but walking with purpose. I found ways to deal with my panic attacks. I started changing my habits, my routines, my mindset, decision by decision, brick by brick. Hi, everyone. Quick interruption from the episode. If this is speaking to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification because you don't want to miss out. And share it with someone who may need it. The link is in the episode notes. It only takes a moment and it can change someone's life. I believe in divine timing, and that can put the right message in front of the right person at the right time to make a huge difference. So let's make this happen together. And without further ado, let's get right back in the episode. So basically, it was the decisions that I made, the invisible ones, when no one was watching, that became the foundation of my change. My discipline became my new identity. I started keeping promises to myself. I slowly built up my confidence, my integrity, my standard, everything that was broken that I had in the darkness. I started from rock bottom. Those individual choices are the ones that shaped my foundation and today have given me so much clarity on who I want to be and where I want to become. But I want you to know this. If I didn't go through this time, if I didn't go through the darkness, the pain, and the suffering, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. You see, your mess has to be your message. Your test has to be your testimony. And the only person that can change it is you. And the only person that knows exactly who you are and how you behave when no one is watching is you. It's the person staring at you in the glass. And that's why we get into these situations. When we don't keep our promises, we know. When we don't keep up our habits, we know. When we don't say we are going to do the thing that we're going to do and then we don't do it, we know. We lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves constantly. And it's the work that no one sees. Because it's so easy to post that I get up at 5 a.m. and I do this morning routine, or I'm winning because I got a client, or I'm winning because I got promoted. It's the work that no one sees. We live in a world where people post on social media and we get hammered with all this positivity and success, but the real work is when no one is watching. And that's what I figured out. It's how I sit down and how I think and act and feel when no one is watching. When I'm in a difficult situation, how do I handle that in my mind and in my actions when no one is watching? That is going to be the separator from where you are today to where you want to go, because that's who you truly are. But here's the good news. I'm going to get into 5 steps and takeaways that you can change today in your life that will help you change. So now let's get into 5 takeaways that you can use in order to do the work and be strong and live this action when no one is watching to become the person that you truly want to be. Number 1, discipline is invisible. Discipline isn't something that you show off on social media or in a boardroom. It's the 5 a.m. workouts. It's the phone call when you don't want to make it. It's doing the work when you don't really want to. It's the hours spent mastering your craft in silence and knowing that you're never going to give up and have perseverance and grit, because discipline is self-love. Number 2, integrity. It's non-negotiable. Everybody thinks integrity is keeping promises and how you act towards others. Integrity starts with you. If you can't make the promises to yourself, especially when no one's watching, you're going to learn the hard way. You're going to suffer like I did in pain, shame, and guilt. The only person that you need to keep the first promise to is yourself. Your reputation with yourself, your self-worth, and your future self will thank you. So stay in integrity. Number 3, your habits define your destiny. Your success is not made by one breakthrough. It's made by constant habits and consistent great habits breakthrough. As we've talked before in other podcasts, we're creatures of habit. You either have good habits and bad habits, and good habits make time your ally. So when you stay consistent with good habits, whether it's in business, in your family, in your mindset, in your fitness, in your faith, in your fulfillment, stay consistent. The invisible work when no one is watching. Stay consistent to those habits, because when you do that, it may seem boring, the discipline and the habits, but that's going to set you free. That's going to allow you to become the person that you're meant to be and dominate your life. Number 4, it's the loneliness that tests you. Being alone with your choices and your true truths, no excuses, you have no distractions, nobody patting you on the back. That's when you truly win as a person. So sit in your loneliness, do the things that you need to do as being the person you want to be when no one is watching. Because when you're alone, that's when you can let it all go. And then you can show up in front of others like you have it all together, but meanwhile, you don't. And I did that for many years. And yes, people say on this podcast that I have courage for telling my story. No, I'm telling the story that many people live every single day, but they're not in the right mind space to go and share it. Well, I'm sharing it because I want people to live their life and have their full potential and dominate their life. Lastly, number 5, your future self is watching. Every time you stay in integrity, every honor you have towards your standards, you are rewarding. Your future self is watching every habit, every decision, how you act, how you feel, how you think. Your future self is the one that is watching, because your future self will either thank you or your future self will really expose you. Quick interruption from the episode. Your past is lying to you and it's been chaining you down for long enough. I know this firsthand. But here's the great news. My book, Breaking from the Chains of Your Past, is a system I use to rebuild my identity, and it'll show you how to break free and create the future that you deserve. And here is the deal. If you attend my free masterclass by clicking the link below, I'll give you the book for free. No strings attached, just transformation. What are you waiting for? Your future starts now. So here's my challenge for you. Stop waiting for the external pressure, the purpose for you to move forward, relying on the recognition, the pats on the back that's holding you back from the standard that you want to be. The test is when no one is watching. It's you versus you. So ask yourself this question. What standards am I letting slide when no one is watching? What are the habits that I have when no one is watching? Am I keeping my promises to myself when no one is watching? And sit in silence and answer those questions honestly. And if you're not doing those things, figure out how you're going to change that, because we're creatures of habit. And the only way to replace the bad habits is with the good habits. Your life, your results, your legacy, they all come from the invisible moments that no one sees when the world is quiet, sitting in the darkness. Greatness isn't in the spotlight. It's in the unforeseen grind and the choices that you make when no one is around you. It's the integrity you keep in the dark. So don't wait for the world to rise. Live to your standards and carry them when no one is watching. And remember, your future self is watching, and you deserve to dominate and conquer your life. Well, that's all for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you got something out of it, and that way you can go and implement it. Remember, I always say, don't just hear the words, live them. You only live life once. So what are you waiting for? The world is yours to conquer. Definitely run